Alright, first and foremost, call Halalim Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Harakakadash, Barakatam. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Adwan Ratazah, I am of that number. Alright, it's a little brother here, Shamash One. It's not too little anymore, but you know, I always got a little bit of a bad habit saying little brother, you know. I'm the youngest in my family, youngest of all, 3 siblings, so I kind of been conditioned to believe myself to be a child, even though I'm almost 20 years old, which, according to Allah, would mean that I'm old enough to be killed in battle. All right. Today's video, I want to call it maybe something like "Don't trust Esau's medicine" or "Don't fall for the deception." All right, a lot of people are dealing with sicknesses. All right, I'm not talking about Windows 19. All right, I'm talking about just sicknesses in general. Just because Windows 19 is out does not mean people still aren't getting cancers. Okay, it does not mean people are not getting other diseases, infections, and tinnitus and other ailments. So while I was scrolling around the internet, I found this video from this show called House MD, which is about like a doctor, an Edomite doctor, and it's about him, curing patients and shit. All right, so we're gonna play it, and I'm gonna go bring out some scriptures.
We're getting up those steps. When you start noticing? Blood pressure's a little high, but I've got something new that should help you out. Combines a nitrate with a blood pressure pill. It's targeted to African Americans.
Targeted?
Yeah, well, see, we tend to have nitric oxide deficiencies. And studies show this drug counteracts that problem. It's the first drug to...
What kind of studies you talking about?
What kind of studies are there? They get some patients, they give them some drugs.
I've had white people lying to me for 60 years.
You think this is a...
All right, remember that scripture, Revelation 18:23, "For by thy sorceries will all nations deceived." I believe that's how it goes, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, when you go into that word sorceries, it's pharmakia, okay, drugs. Okay, these doctors will say, oh yes, this drug will cure such and such. We've done studies on black men. Okay, what's black men? Okay, what does black men even mean? Did they study it on a group of tribal people from East Africa or people from South Africa? Did they study it on Hamites? Okay, we're not all the same. Even among the Israelite population, we're not the same. We all have different genetics. I mean, you take 100 Israelites from different parts of the world. Some are tall, some are short. We all have different muscle insertions, different kinds of muscle, different variations of what kind of muscles that we have. People are not all in one box, okay?
Tan?
You think they tell you everything?
Trouble with us black folk. We can't tell the difference anymore between racism and everybody gets screwed.
Yeah?
See, he's just a coon. See, this is what we warn against, okay? What is greatly despised, what is greatly esteemed among men is an abomination unto the Lord, okay? This is what we go against, okay? Guys like this, coons, okay? This guy is a spook, okay? In a lab coat, thinking that he's all smart, okay? He's killing his own people.
Well, how about them cheap meningitis drugs they pawning off in Africa? Gonna tell me that ain't racism?
That's just greed.
And see, this is deep on another level. They always do this. They cast the black man, right? The older black man is a man who's, oh, he's just superstitious. He doesn't want to trust the white man. He's so evil. No, he's right. Okay, now he's wrong in a lot of other things, mostly when it comes to matters of religion. Okay, quote unquote religion and other lifestyle choices. He may still eat abominable foods, right? Like I'll give you an example from my family, right? Most of my family are conscious to a certain extent, right? But they're still eating abominations, right? They're still eating abominable foods. They're still eating preservatives, even though they have not preservatives, processed foods, even though they do have the ability to afford better food. Okay, they still eat that processed hot garbage that doesn't even fill you.
You really want to screw Whitey? Be one of the few black men who live long enough to collect Social Security.
Okay, what did you say? Live long enough to collect Social Security. Okay? Most of the times, Not all the time, right? Now, if the Most High wants you to die, you're going to die. And if the Most High wants you to live, you're going to live. Okay, but a lot of times, those drugs have other horrible side effects. Like, they'll mess with your urine. They mess with your body's ability to produce melatonin, which helps you sleep. Usually, if you increase chemicals in one thing to spike one chemical, it usually fucks up something else, okay?
Take the medicine.
So what he just said, take the medicine. All right, this is the same thing they're using with that Windows 19 Vanessa, okay? They'll get another Negro, all right? They'll get a Negro, and they'll say, hey, you, all right? Tell them to take the thing, man. Tell them, oh, you're crazy. This how you get at white. Just take it. All right, that's the same thing they use with la colegios, colegios. Okay, they tell you, all right, you want to get back at whitey? Well, you got to get a degree. Okay, you got to be on their level. No, you idiot. You're never going to be on their level. All right, they're always going to keep your ass down one way or another, you fool. Okay, the best way is to just skate off and try to fall through the cracks. All right, get yourself a basic little job and just, live out your days. You don't got to be rich. You don't got to have a $100,000. No one needs that shit. You need a little place, a basic job, okay? And the Most High will sort everything out. But that's pretty much all I wanted on that, right? We're going to get some scriptures. But I hope y'all were listening. Slakia for pausing it. Maybe I'll replay it just so you play it and you listen to it all out and you just get one thing of it all out at one time. All right.
Notice it?
Oh, a week ago.
Your blood pressure's a little high, but I've got something new that should help you out. Combines a nitrate with a blood pressure pill. It's targeted to African Americans.
Targeted?
Yeah, we tend to have nitric oxide deficiencies. And studies show this drug counteracts that problem. It's the first drug to...
What kind of studies you talking about?
What kind of studies are there? They get some patients, they give them some drugs.
I've had white people lying to me for 60 years.
You think this is a tan?
You think they tell you everything?
Trouble with us black folk. We can't tell the difference anymore between racism and everybody gets screwed.
Yeah? Well, how about them cheap meningitis drugs they pawning off in Africa? Gonna tell me that ain't racism?
That's just greed. You really want to screw Whitey? Be one of the few black men who live long enough to...
Yeah, I don't want to, get a little, interrupted again, but, what he just said, that's just greed. See, this is what they do, all right? When you bring out the facts, when you bring out quote-unquote conspiracy theories, they'll say, oh, yeah, that's just greed. They'll try to play it off, okay, because they're bought and sold.
Like Social Security. Take the medicine.
All right. I don't got to play the rest. It's a pretty interesting show, pretty interesting episode of the show. I've never watched the show. If you want to, check it out on your own time. If you're really interested in it, I'll gladly send you the link. This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. What did we just show you, man? All right? This guy, this doctor, okay, they all come in these humble lab coats, these white lab coats. You know why they choose white, right? White, okay? And you see all these Renaissance art, right? White. You see the angels? They always got them in these white garments, all right? Then they put the doctors in the same white garments. It's not a coincidence. They do that shit on purpose to try to disarm you, okay? But inwardly, they are ravening wolves. Now, they'll give you these medications, and the doctors may mean well, okay? Even Jake doctors, Coon Jake doctors, 2/3 Jake doctors, they may mean well, okay? But they're working for a system, working for a government that don't really give a shit about us, man. They're not the ones in the lab making the drugs, okay? Now, some of them are, okay? But even when you're in the lab making the drugs, it's always a board of directors, a higher group that's always controlling everything, that makes sure you put what ingredients they want you to put in, okay? You may find something that may be a breakthrough cure, but they're gonna say, no, you're not putting that out. You're gonna put this one out. Now, it has lower efficacy, okay? But that's what we want. We want lower efficacy. We want it, yeah, it'll cure them after 20, 30, 40 years of daily exposure to this drug, okay? And that's what we want, because If they're cured, then that's a lost patient. That's lost money. Okay, we cannot afford to lose income like that. We gotta keep the people sick. All right, verse 16. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes or thorns, or figs or thistles? All right, now this is obviously talking about, in terms of camps, right? But the kind of doctrines. I don't want to get too far into it, because this is a different video altogether, But this is just talking about the kind of men that they're bringing into the camp, to the groups, all right? Are they bringing in, grapes of thorns, just these 2/3, dudes that are fucking violent, dudes that are unlearned. Well, I don't want to say unlearned, okay, because we were all unlearned at one point. I mean, in terms of, kind of undesiring to learn, kind of stern, bullheaded people that don't really want to learn. They just want to run their mouth, all right? Acting like they know something, acting like they're the camp leader. You know what I'm saying? Verse 18, a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Okay, and these fruits are also talking about their philosophies, not really the philosophies, their breakdowns, what they're pushing out. All right, what's their doctrine? Okay, are they bringing out 100% of the truth? Are they telling you that Jesus Christ, Jesus Cristo, is a blanco, is a gringo? Is that what he's telling you? Okay. Are these false philosophies? All right, those are also thorns. All right. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Exactly. Okay. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Literally cast into the fire, because you're going to be, those who are bringing about lies and heresies and deceits, they're going to be destroyed. Okay, they're going to be cast into that lake of fire, which is the second death. I'm actually going to go ahead and get that. Okay, verse 20. Wherefore by their fruits you shall know them. Exactly. Wherefore by the doctrine, wherefore by the people that were within the group, you're going to know who they are. Okay, you look at these doctors, these sellout jakes. Okay, these people are undisciplined. A lot of them are on drugs because they're being worked out so hard at that job, or to even get the job, having to go to medical school, first go to college, 8 years of college, then I think it's medical school after that. I may be mistaken, or maybe it's college and then medical school, but that's 8 years of their lives, okay? And they're working day in and day out. I believe those medical schools, they don't really have the same credit hour limit like they do in colleges. Like in colleges, they have three credit hours, 3 hours per credit. So say you got a 3 credit course, you're supposed to spend 9 hours max on that course. You know what I'm saying? But back into it. Lake of fire. Okay. Yeah. This is Revelation chapter 20. Verse 13. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it. The dead bodies floated up. And death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. Death and hell, this is just a condition on earth. It doesn't mean actual, like, hell or like death, the mythological entity. Okay, that doesn't exist. All right, that's just a myth. Okay, it just means that there's going to be a lot of crying and tears in those days. Okay, and they were judged, every man according to their works. Okay, we're going to be judged too. Okay, we're going to be judged too. Everyone's going to be judged according to their works. Okay, I don't want to I'm of the 144,000. Our judgment is going to be everlasting life. Okay, and into the entrance into the kingdom, being part of that first go around. Okay, once again, I don't know about that number. All right, but you 2/3 are going to get death. You Edomites are going to get death. You other nations, most of you are going to get death and or slavery. Okay, but Esau Edom's also going to get slavery. Okay, those that survive, the few that do live. Verse 14, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. Okay, what is the first death? The first death was by water. The second death was by fire. Okay. Let's go back into it. At Matthew chapter 7 and then have a couple more scriptures, like 3 or 4. I try to keep this under 30. This is Matthew chapter 5. And let's see here, verse. Damn, man, what did I lose it? Is it 25? Yeah, 29. All right, this is the book of Acts, chapter 5, and I'll start at around 26, just so we get a little bit of context. All right, so Matthew chapter 5, Acts chapter 5, verse 26. Then went the captain with the officers. That looks like a grasshopper. Then went the captain with the officers and brought them without violence, for they feared the people, lest they should have been stoned. And when they had brought them, they set them before the council, and the high priest asked them. All right, so Paul and the apostles, I believe it's just Paul. No, it's Peter. It's Peter and the apostle, Salakia. I got to go back into it, but it's Peter and various other apostles are here. And pretty much, I believe this does take place in Jerusalem. Yeah. And pretty much the high priest and various high-ranking figures told them that they're not supposed to teach. And, we did it anyway. So they tried to put us in prison houses. If I'm correct, and this is the one, they were let out of prison. I have to go back into it, but I believe this is, they tried to cast him into prison and it didn't work, but I'll go back into it. Don't quote me on that. All right, I'll have to go back into it. Maybe I'll drop the context in the comments if I do remember. Yeah, verse 27. And when they had brought them, they set them before the council, and the high priest asked them, saying, did not we straitly command you, straitly meaning like directly, command you that ye should not teach in this name? Behold, you have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, and intend to bring this man's blood upon us. Then Peter, that's another example right there, man. No matter what these devils tell you, these 2/3, whoever the hell they get to tell you, even your own damn mother, okay, tell you, all right, didn't we tell you not to listen to those guys? Ugh, aren't those guys are all ex-cons. Stop listening to them, okay? You know what I'm saying? Don't listen to that shit. Just ignore it. If the spirit's working with you, you're gonna fucking ignore that shit, okay? Yeah. Verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey the Most High rather than men. All right? Case in point. No matter what these damn devils come to you with, saying, oh yeah, take this thing, take this Vanessa, take that Vanessa. All right? Always bring this out. Oh shit, I had my hat on the entire time? Shit, I didn't mean to have that on. Fuck. Salakia. I thought I took it off already. God fucking damn it, man. Alright, back into it. It is what it is. Yeah, back into it. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 31, verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Yasharallah, neither seek the Most High. Alright? They don't. Okay, woe unto them. Why is it woe unto them? Because they're going to be destroyed. Pertaining to Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. I believe I am correct on that. 2/3 should be cut off and die. Alright, that's why it says woe unto them. That's why in Isaiah chapter 31, verse 1, it says woe unto them. Okay? Egypt, obviously meaning, Egypt, the place, right? But also Egypt, as America, because America is modern day Egypt. Egyptos merely means bondage, place of bondage. Okay, America is a place of bondage. For who? The Israelites. Okay, Egypt just merely represents a condition played out on earth. Okay, it's a symbol. All right, like the peace sign. You see the peace sign, which I believe is also the nuclear symbol, right? It's just a sign of peace, right? But you know what I'm saying. This is gonna get straight to the point. This is Sirach to the 12 verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Alright, this is the last one. There's more I can go into on this. I could read on down, but I think I'm gonna end it here. You know, never trust your enemy. Okay, who's our enemy? What group of people since the fucking beginning? Okay, when Esau Edom was a serpent. Okay, because he is that old serpent, the devil. Okay, he's the old serpent, the devil's counterpart on earth. Okay. All right, he's an adversary. He's the enemy. Okay, I believe that word devil also goes into adversary. He's against the Most High. All right, who's been our enemy? What group of people was just trying to kill Jake all across the board? What group of people tried to give those birth control pills? Hold on, let's go get that. Let's go get that. Hold on, let's get that. Let's get that. Experiment in Puerto Rico. Yes. Birth control, the first birth control experiment used Puerto Rican women as guinea pigs. Okay, who's our enemy? Once you read that, who's our enemy, man? Come on, you gotta be kidding me, man. Y'all, man, y'all niggas out there, man, who are just like, yeah, you may have your little white girlfriend, you're eating my girlfriend or whatever, our quote unquote girlfriend, okay? Girlfriends don't exist according to scriptures, by the way, okay? You're concubine, and you just think everything is all fine and fucking dandy, all right? You are a fucking idiot, all right? You're a dumb fuck, all right? And that's just sincerely a young brother telling you that, all right? Especially you young guys, man. Yo, fuck them fucking bitches, man. Death to them, all right? You get them in the kingdom, all right? So fuck those bitches, man. Death to those fucking bitches, man. Yeah, that's all I wanted to go into. You know, basic lesson. That's what hit and run is all about. You know, basic lessons. You know, I try to get to a kind of quiet area on campus. You know, most people are kind of they kind of ignore this area. I'm in the parking lot. What is this? The parking lot by the athletic center. You know, most people kind of ignore this place. You know, it is what it is. All right. Call Halalim Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Harakakadash, Rakdom. Alright, that's all I got. To be continued. Shalom.